What's going on, fam? It's a cold day. Cold day on the yard. Hardcut bully kennels. Got a few questions here lately about what is the new tips I would give to a new breeder. I've done this video a few times, but I thought this would be a good time to refresh it since this is a new year. So this is my new tips, my tips for the breeder, my tips for the new breeder, 2025. Let this boy hear out too. If you're not a member of the family, please consider subscribing. And if you would, hit that like button. It sure would help me out. My first tip to a new breeder, what I think the most important thing is, choose your breed or class that you can handle. And when I say breed or class, I mean the American Bully has about 4 different classes: pocket, standard, classic, and XL. And if you're not a real dog person, you don't need about 8 XLs running around. And if you want to be a breeder, you may want just 2 dogs to start, but you're going to end up with a yard of dogs. So you got to get a yard of dogs you can handle. For instance, I like cane corsos, but I know that I cannot handle a yard full of cane corsos, especially not with my lifestyle. Some people like working dogs. The American Bully is a companion dog. It's not a working dog, so it doesn't take a lot of my time training and working. So if you're that type of breeder, then you can do that. But if you're not that type of breeder, you don't want a working dog. So you got to choose the dogs and the class that you can handle. You got to be able to handle the feed and the maintenance of that dog. And that's my first thing. That's the most important thing. Second thing is, if you're going to be a breeder, you need to know what flaws are, because you got to be able to choose good breed stock. And that is my second thing to say. These are 5 easy steps for the new breeder. This is number 2. Pick breed stock. Breed stock is 2 flaws or less. It does not matter what breed you're in. He needs to have 2 flaws or less. You don't know what a flaw is, you need to do your research. And that is also part of step number 1, is doing plenty of research. You got to do your research to know that the American Bully needs a C-section. If you don't want to do C-sections, don't start breeding American Bully. You got to do the research on any breed you're doing. You might see the Bulldog and say, well, he's got a lot of hip problems. So now you'll know what to look for, especially when you're looking at your flaws. So you got to do research. So do some research, find out what a flaw is, and then pick breed stock from breeders that have less than 2 flaws. And that's what you call a foundation dog. You can start with that. You really want 5 females and maybe a stud, but you really want 5 females, and you want to breed them. You want to buy a stud feed from the perfect person for those perfect dogs, for those dogs you have. That's what you really want to do. So, number 1, choose the breed or class you can use. Number 2 is choose breed stock. And when I say choose breed stock, I also mean choose structure over color. You cannot be a breeder worried about color. You have to be worried about structure and conformation. Color will come. You got to look at this as stages. If this has been good information to you, man, go ahead and hit that like button. It sure would help me out. Leave a comment. Number 3, and I think this is a big step, your facility equals your success. That means what you have to deal with is what you're going to be able to, is going to tell you how much you can expand, how much you can grow, how much you can have. If you're in an apartment building and you got 2 dogs, you might be at your max right now. If you have a small house and you got kennels in your garage, you know, you may be able to do that for a while, but will you have room to expand? And what I've found is, with this dude, the better your facility is, the better you can take care of your dogs. The easier it is to take care of your dogs. The less time it takes to take care of your dogs. And the happier and healthier your dogs will be, and that's going to save you money. So part of breeding right is building the right facility, spending money on the facility. We spent about $5,000 on this house here, and we've built onto it as we went. We still got some more to go. We're still building on it. But number 3 is your facility. Your facility equals your success. I decided when I started that I wanted my animals to be able to have a indoor and outdoor, and I started over in the old kennels. That's what I had, is everybody had their own yard and everybody had it inside, and that's how I started. But now I don't like the setup of the of all the mud and stuff, so that's why we had to expand and change to something else. So you got to have room to grow and expand and change once you got everything up and going. And if you just stick to the steps, it'll go real easy and real quick for you. So number 3, facility equals success. Number 4, I would say nowadays a big deal to do is build your presence on social media. And that means not only do you have to start building a presence on social media by being on there and posting content, you have to be good at starting to make content. You need to start doing some video, looking at some stuff on cinematography and scenes and screens, you know, and how to get your point across. You got to look at the best shorts to see how they came across. And most of all, you got to get good at taking pictures, because until you got good content, all you got is good pictures of your dogs, and that's enough to get you started. So that's number 4. So let's look at it now. Choose the right breed or class that you can handle. Choose breed stock to start. Structure over color. Facility equals success. And build your presence on social media. After you got that done, you build your presence in the state and your surrounding area. Lastly, the last step is produce. Ain't nobody gonna make no money unless you produce the bullies. So that's why I told you to start correct, get good breed stock, don't worry about color, worry about structure, so that you can start producing. And when you produce quality bullies or dogs or whatever breed you're trying to produce, if you start correctly. So start producing is the last step. And a little tip from me is, I think it's better to produce in the winter than it is in the summer. For some reason, people got the summertime going and they ready to get out on vacation and run here, run there, fix the cars up. It's not the same as during the winter. So for me, if you're a new breeder, I would say start producing. But watch what season you're producing in. It's the easiest way I can say it. Start producing in the fall, not the summer. It'll be easy with you on a new market. And that's my tips, man.